writing on the wall.
Were you in 31?
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? So I was picking up at this place that kept us waiting for hours, hours and hours. This wasn't my first time. And when I went inside to pick up my paperwork, then I saw the writing on the wall. And I read it. And it was interesting and entertaining. But it made me think, you know, although this tit for tat mentality that motivated drivers to retaliate for waiting by writing on the wall wasn't the most ideal thing. I think that is common as either a natural part of human nature or the human conditioning. I don't know. But tit for tat mentality is like not uncommon. And so when you decide you're going to start a trucking company, it's something that you have to keep in mind, because people have a tendency to consider how you treat them, what they feel you think about them. And that's going to have an effect on how they treat your equipment, how they perform their jobs, their attitudes about the company, which plays a part in how they talk about the company, and the level of happiness. The level of happiness is going to affect how they deal with customers and, again, perform their job. So you have to think about that. And of course, thinking about that means that you would want to treat your drivers the same way you would want to be treated if you were a driver. Let me show you something else real quick. At the same company, this is the bathroom, the trucker's bathroom. You can clearly see that it's disgusting, and that's how your trucks are going to look. If you hire drivers and they don't feel like you care about their family, they feel like you don't care about their prosperity, you don't care about their happiness, you don't care about their ability to make money, their success. If they feel like you don't care about them, then they're not going to care about your equipment. That's how they're going to turn their truck back in, if they turn their truck back in. So again, it's very important. And what I mean is, obviously, the company has to make money. It has to be profitable in order to exist. I understand that. It's common sense. But when you operate a company and it's obvious that your only focus is the bottom line, the only thing you care about is maximum profit at the expense of everything else, again, meaning that you could care less about the drivers, that's not going to help you have a solid foundation for building a trucking company. That mentality, that mindset is part of the reason why the turnover rate is so high in trucking right now. It's very easy to solve that problem. Just treat people differently. Set your company up in such a way that you can treat people differently. Only hire people for the type of work you have available. Pay attention to how the people in the line, the pipeline of management, how they deal with drivers. It's very simple. But you, it's easier said than done. It ain't that complicated. But when an organization gets so big, the bigger it is, the harder it is to be aware of people who are in place who are dealing with different aspects of the business and different drivers. But you, being a smaller operation, if you're going to start your company, and keep in mind what I'm saying now, and therefore try to structure the company in such a way. For example, one way that a lot of people try to take advantage of drivers is their compensation. Whether you're going to have W-2 employees or 1099 contractors, how you designate them and how you pay them. Just if you pay them what a lot of people do is pay the drivers 1099 and make it seem like they're paying them a whole lot of money, the driver doesn't have the business acumen to do the numbers to figure out that you can go somewhere and get paid 60 cents a mile, 50 cents a mile, and have a better paycheck than being paid as a 1099, taking all this responsibility. And what you end up with is actually about 30 cents a mile, 40 cents a mile. The reason that a lot of people start companies and do it that way is because the driver takes on the responsibility of fixing that truck. The employer or the person that owns the business escapes having to pay a lot of fees associated with having employees, and the driver is going to maintain that truck out of his pocket for that 1099 position. You know, so you have to, again, if you want to give somebody the opportunity to be 1099, make sure there's a good balance in the compensation, and make sure that person understands completely, and make sure the whole deal is fair for that person from beginning to end. And you can build like that. For one thing, you will be different than the average company just by building your trucking company in that way. I just wanted to mention that. The only other thing is you got to make sure in the quality of the person that you hire, just like they need to make sure the quality, the mindset of the person running the company that they're going to, that you have to ask questions to get into the mind of the person you're considering hiring. And number one, have a philosophy for your company. Have a philosophy for your company. That way, the decisions made in structuring that company are likely to be based on that philosophy. Let's say that mission statement, what that company is going to be about, you know, that takes into account not just the customers, but all the people that we work with. All right, y'all, so this is just a short little quick video, just some thoughts that came to mind, because this is going to be something that really causes a lot of frustration for people trying to start trucking companies. Let me know what you think. Comment, feedback. Let me know what you think.